Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, I'm very excited to be doing this video. I've been planning to do it for a couple weeks now. I'm going to be talking about all the books I've read so far in 2022, and so I'm really excited. I have not that many books. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've read 9 books so far in 2022. So I'm on my 10th one right now. So I'm going to start in chronological order, just telling you guys about the book, whether I liked it, whether I would reread it, all that good stuff. So I'm super excited. Let's get into it. So the very first book I read in 2022 was The Princess Trap by taliahibbert or taliahibbert. This was a book that I picked up specifically because I just like this author, taliahibbert. I've read 2 books by her before I read this one. I read her 2 of her Brown sisters books. I didn't read the 3rd one yet, but I read 2 of those. Love them. Really love the way she depicts different types of Black women, stuff like that. So I said, let me try her other book. So basically, in short, this book follows Cherry and Reuben. Reuben is the prince of a foreign country, and Cherry is, she works for HR in London, England. They meet at her job, and Reuben is instantly attracted to her, wants to get to know her, all that good stuff. They go on a fun little date, and basically they start kissing in like the alley of one of the streets in London, and paparazzi comes out of nowhere and starts snapping pictures, and that's when Reuben admits to Cherry that he's a prince of a country. And then Reuben tells the paparazzi that Cherry is his fiance, even though they just met that day, because, it's kind of improper for someone with so much prestige and royalty to be just kissing this random lady in the street, right? So that's basically what is the plot of this book. It's fake engagement, but Reuben and Cherry, obviously Reuben really likes her, and just going about all the stuff that comes with it. We learn more about Reuben's family, more about Cherry's family. There's lots of different dynamics that I wasn't expecting. Really love this book. I enjoyed it a lot. Taliahibbert she just does a great job of like portraying different types of Black women and showing all these different ways that these men fall in love with Black women, because every book I read is a romance novel essentially. It's just that I have to search and find for the main character to be Black, the main female character to be Black. So it is nice and refreshing to get these books by her, because I get to see that, and I get to see different types of men, not just the same Black men that I think the media tries to portray on us, just different types of men that aren't Black too. So you know what I mean? So I really enjoyed this book. I would read it again. It's not like at the top of my list to read again, but I would read it again. I did enjoy it. And the cover is just so cute. Like, you can just see Reuben's devotion in the cover. Like, oh my gosh, we love to see it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. The second book I read of 2022 was a reread. It was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This was my second time reading this book. I know, you're probably like, really, girl? Yes. I read this book for the first time in 2021, and I loved it. It's a thicker book. It's thick. It takes you a minute. And I feel like the print is small. It's not small, but anyway. I really like this book. This is my first ever Christina Lauren book, and I hear mixed reviews about this author duo because it's 2 people, if you didn't know. But I enjoyed this book, and I know I need to get into more books by them. But basically, this book is about Olive, who is a twin sister, and her twin sister, Ani, I think is the name. Yeah, her twin sister is getting married, and the guy that her twin sister is marrying, the brother, him and Olive don't get along. So they have like an enemies type of thing. They just don't get along at all. Anyway, during the wedding goes well and everything, but during the reception, everybody at the party gets food poisoning except for Olive and the brother of the groom, which is Ethan. Yes. And because of that, Olive's sister and her new husband can't go on the trip they planned, the honeymoon they planned. So Olive's sister is like, take it, you go, you and Ethan go, use the trip because someone has to use it, blah, 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 blah. So Olive and Ethan go on the honeymoon to Hawaii for 10 days. And like I said in the beginning, they did not like each other. Or so we thought. But yeah, I enjoyed this book. I know a lot of people complain saying they didn't like that the book, like the last third of the book didn't take place on the honeymoon. But I was like, honestly, that's not realistic. Like the way a relationship would really develop, you think a relationship would really develop, and we would get everything on 10 days of them being in Hawaii. They would never get back to normal life. That's not realistic. I don't know why people complain about that, but I really like this book. Ethan and Olive, the way they developed, was just really entertaining for me. Obviously, that's why I read it 2 times. This is a great summer read, obviously, because it takes place in Hawaii. It's really descriptive. There's all the different things they run into and situations they run into in Hawaii. It's just really fun to read, really engaging. I would read this book again, definitely in the summer months. Maybe I'll read it before summer comes to a close. I don't know. But yeah, I really like this book, The Unhoneymooners, Christina Lauren, 5 out of 5, 5 stars, 10 out of 10, whatever. Loved it. Loved it. Okay. The third book of 2022 that I read that I was least impressed with out of all the books I'm going to show you in this video, The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This book was kind of a disappointment, only because it was so hyped up on TikTok and YouTube, and it got turned into a movie as well. Lucy Hale was the main actress in this movie. It was just so disappointing for me personally. I just didn't vibe with it fully. This is an enemies to lovers. Basically, they are the workers of 2 separate CEOs, but those CEOs merged their companies, so now they're kind of working together, and now they're in competition for like a top assistant position, the 2 of them, and it's enemies to lovers. They bicker a lot. He bickers with her a lot. Like Josh, everyone says they love Josh Templeman. I did not like him. I honestly thought he was annoying. Like in real life, if a grown man was bothering me that much, how would I ever like want to be with you or be attracted to you like that? That just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. We're not children. So I just didn't like that about this book. I felt like he was kind of immature, even though he is enemies to lovers. So you know what I mean. I'm not trying to spoil it, but at the same time, pretty much everyone has read this. I'm late to the game reading this anyway. But yeah, I just didn't like it that much. Of course, a lot of people loved it. So maybe something I'm missing. Will I reread this book? No. Am I on the hunt to get more Sally Thorne books? No. But I'm glad I gave it a chance for sure. And I was not like, during the book, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to finish this book. That's how you know I don't like a book. Because I pretty much like everything that I read. Like, I'm easily pleased, honestly. So in the middle of this book, I was like, oh, I can't wait to finish it. The ending was a little bit better. For sure. I think I liked the last third of it better. Some parts of it I did like, but some parts of it I just couldn't. If I applied it to my own life, I'd be like, this would have never worked for me. It just would have never worked. So, yeah. Okay. The 4th book I read of 2022, this was a banger. A banger. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Literally, I can place this book, like, you know when you really like a book that you know, like, when you were doing it, what time period you were reading it, all that good stuff. Yes, I know the time period of I was reading this. I was reading this like February. I started reading it like February 23rd, 24th, because I was on like a field trip, even though I'm in college, but it was like a field trip, basically a field trip to Alabama. And I started reading this book on the shuttle. And I knew from like the first 3 pages that I was gonna love it. And I was right. I loved it the whole time. And this was another extremely hyped up book. And I had bought both of these books at the same time. And I said, which one do I think I'm gonna like more? And I thought I was gonna like this one more. And I'm so glad I didn't read this and then this. I'm so glad I had this to look forward to after this was disappointing. You know what I mean? This book is about another Olive. Don't know why these authors love naming their female characters Olive, but whatever. Olive, who is a PhD student, 3rd year, I want to say. She has some big plans for, her academic life. But her good friend, what's her friend's name? I think that's how you say it. Wants to go on a date, or wants to start dating this boy that Olive went on one date with. But Olive did not enjoy the date. Her and the guy did not click. Like, Olive is not tripping about that man at all. Like, she did not care. But the friend felt really bad because, Olive did go on a date with him. So one time, so that her friend doesn't feel bad about going on the date, Olive said, oh, don't worry about it. I have a new boyfriend, or I'm seeing someone, blah, blah, blah. It's a lie. She's not seeing anybody. So her friend is like, really? Okay. Fast forward the following day or the next night or whatever. Olive is in the lab doing her homework and stuff, and her friend comes looking for her, expecting to see her with that boyfriend or the new guy she's with. But of course, that person doesn't exist. So what does Olive do? She kisses the first person she sees, which happens to be Dr. Adam Carlson, one of the professors at Stanford in the department that she's in, the biology department. Yeah, something like that. And so that causes a whole thing because now everyone's saying Olive and Dr. Adam Carlson are dating. So it's fake dating that Olive keeps up so that her friend feels less and less guilty about going out with the other guy. Now, is this plot completely realistic? Would I myself do what Olive did? Absolutely not. But did I love this book regardless? Yes. Yeah. I enjoyed this book so much. I'm actually looking forward to when I reread it. Like, that's how you know, even though I've read this book in full and I remember every single thing about it, basically, I can't wait to reread it because I just enjoy it so much. It was just the perfect, cute rom-com for me personally. And Dr. Adam Carlson, this is what they call grumpy sunshine, I learned in the last couple months. Yeah, he's real grumpy, and it's kind of intimidating. Or they said he's grumpy, but like, I didn't really see it because he was always sweet to Olive. He wasn't even grumpy to me. He was just like really closed off. Like, he had walls, I feel like, but he was so sweet to Olive, and he was sweet to Olive from the jump. That's the difference between these two. That's the difference. I loved it. I loved it. Like, he made this book, honestly, Olive, I could relate to some of her quirkiness and awkwardness, I could feel like. And I just love reading about the STEM stuff. Like, I like science. Science is cool. So I really enjoyed this book. I really did. I'm going to reread it. Like, once I finish all the other books that I have to read, I'm going to, because I really love it. So yeah, The Love Hypothesis was 5 out of 5 stars for me too. 10 out of 10. No complaints. I have no complaints about this book. None. Okay, so the next book I read, I was so excited to read this book. It is by Mariana Zapata. And if you have spent 10 minutes on BookTok or YouTube in the reading department, you've heard of Mariana Zapata, the slow burn queen, as they call her. I was so excited to read her because so many people love her books. So this book is From Lukov with Love. This is definitely the biggest book out of all the books I have shown y'all. It's the biggest one I read this year. I think it's like close to 500. Oh, it's over 500. It's 531. Yeah, this book took me a minute. It took me basically all of the month of May to read this. Also because I was kind of busy. But yeah, this book took me some time. Basically, did I tell you the title? From Lukov with Love. Basically, this book follows Jasmine, who is a figure skater. She's like 26 or 7 maybe. And she's basically running out of time to win medals, win gold stuff. Her partner left her, all that good stuff. Here comes Ivan Lukov, her enemy, who asked her to be his partner so that he could win a couple more medals, and because she's partnerless and all that good stuff. So enemies to lovers because Jasmine and Ivan hate each other, whatever. I did enjoy this book. Would I reread it? I don't know. Part of me wouldn't reread it because it's so long. Like, I feel like I would only reread it if I had nothing else to read because it's so long. Like, I would have to really commit to it again. And also Jasmine sometimes got on my nerves. Like, she was really stubborn to me sometimes, like really stubborn, and she complained a lot to me. Like, I felt like she complained a lot. So I don't really, for those reasons, I don't know if I would reread. It's definitely not on the top of my reread list, like The Love Hypothesis is, you know what I mean? But I did like it. I would give it 4 stars. I would not give it 5 stars. Slow burn, Mariana Zapata, yeah. The people who said that, they are not lying. When I tell you, they don't even like touch each other with their fingers until, well, they're figure skaters, so they do touch each other, but touch each other like in a romantic way till more than halfway through this book. It's not an exaggeration. When something finally popped off, I was like, here. Okay, maybe here. You know what I mean? Like, it took a minute. If you are not a patient person, if you like people to get to it quickly, this book is not for you at all. But I liked it. I thought Ivan was super sweet. It was romantic, or he was romantic at least. But yeah, it did take some time. But then again, in a way, I kind of like that because I feel like that's how I want it to go in real life. You don't want it to just pop off right away fully, I don't think. You want it to take some time to develop. I don't know. But it is definitely hard to read sometimes when you're just like, oh my gosh, be together. So yeah, I like this book. Would I read more Mariana Zapata? Absolutely. She has like a whole bunch of books that I have to tap into, but I just know they're going to take me some time. So that's why I'm kind of avoiding them at the moment. But yeah, From Luke Up with Love was super cute, and I love the cover, like it's pretty. This is Truth or Tequila by Donnaschwartz. Literally picked up this book out of nowhere. Every book that I've shown you guys up to this point, and every book that I will show you after this book, it was like a review or recommended to me, and I saw it on TikTok or YouTube. I saw it on something. This is the only book where I did not see it anywhere. I literally saw it on Amazon, and out of impulsion, I picked it up and I ordered it. Not mad that I did. Super cute book, small. It's not much. I think it took me 2 days to read this, and I read this when I was in school. But yeah, it basically follows Sophie and Seb. Sophie is like a publicist type of thing, and she works for like sports teams and people who are trying to clean up their image. And so she goes to Miami to help this baseball team clean up their image and like help them out and make them look better. She gets to know how sleazy and slimy the bosses and CEOs and the people who own the team, just how all of them are. But while she's there, she meets Sebastian, one of the famous baseball players, and Sebastian wants a piece of her immediately. This book was so cute. Would I reread this? Yes. I mean, look how easy of a read it is, and it takes place in Miami. Like, this is summer vibes in a book. Like, just look at it. It's summer vibes. It was so cute. There's a sequel too called Rain Out, which I have to get into. And when I read that, I want to do like a side-by-side talking about the books. But yeah, I really liked it. The writing is not super duper strong in this book, but yeah, I liked it. Like, it was such a cute book, and I'm not mad that I bought it at all. The next books I read, I was so excited about. That is The Fine Print by Laurenasher and Terms and Conditions by Laurenasher. They're in the series, and I want to do a separate video just talking about the series, the Dreamland Billionaire series. But overall, these were my first Laurenasher books, and I really love them. I liked this one more than this one, but I liked both. They were just super cute stories. I love the plot of the whole billionaires thing. Yeah, I need to read more Laurenasher. I saw that she has a F-150 like series or whatever, so I have to read that because I like her writing. Like, it was super good. So yeah, The Fine Print, Terms and Conditions, I really like these. Not everyone, a lot of people on TikTok love these books. And yeah, this one I think was better than this one. Like, her writing was even better in this one than it was in this one, but both were really good. So the most recent book that I finished, I literally finished this book, like, today's Monday. I think I finished this book on Saturday or Friday. It Happened One Summer by Tessabailey. Another super anticipated read. This was on my list to read for months, literally. Everyone on TikTok loved this book, and it's getting turned into a movie as well. I'm very excited because I will be watching it because I loved this book. I was a little afraid to read a book that was written in third person, but I enjoyed it. It was written to the point where I forgot that it wasn't written in third person, you know what I mean? Yeah, love this book. This book follows Piper, who gets in trouble in her rich LA life. She gets arrested. Her stepdad sends her to this town in Washington to humble her, basically. There she meets fisherman Brendan Taggart. Is it Taggart? Yeah, I think it is. She meets Brendan. I love Brendan so much. Like, he did it for me. Like, if I had to, right now, he's winning in the book boyfriends list. Like, he's winning. Yeah, the fisherman vibe. I said, I didn't know I liked that. I think I like it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. There's a sequel too that follows Piper's sister. I have to read it. I'm so excited. Tessabailey has a new, see it right here. Tessabailey has a new fan. That's me. Really enjoyed this book. Hyped up for the right reasons. Very hyped up for the right reasons. So I really liked it. So those are all the books that I've read, completed, finished in 2022. This is the book I'm currently reading right now. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I've been putting off getting into Colleen Hoover because everyone loves her. So I've been like trying to save her for last. And this is a book that everyone loves. I know everyone talks about how traumatic her writing is sometimes, and I'm really not, that's not something I usually go for, but everyone loves her book, so I'm like, I have to. So I started reading this. I'm barely into it. Like, I'm on page like 60. Yeah, page 60. So far so good. I like it. But yeah, I'm excited. Like, everyone loves Coho, as they call her. But I'll have to let you guys know in the next video how I felt about this book. But so far so good. I'm excited to see how it goes. That's it, guys. Those are all the books I read in 2022 for my first book video. I hope that wasn't really haphazard and crazy. I will get better at these as time goes on, you know. I just really wanted to immerse myself into the book TikTok, book world, you know, type of life. So book YouTube, since that's what I'm posting this on. But yeah, let me know any book recommendations if you have any, if anybody watches this, down below, and I will see you guys next time.